guys, so in my Christmas video, I posted a short compilation of my performance at Disneyland Paris with the West End Musical Theater Choir. In that video, I said that I had created a video already where I did a review of the mapping device that Disney provides and that I was going to post it eventually. I didn't, so here's that video. So for a little bit of backstory, in early 2023, I joined the West End Musical Theater Choir. They're a choir, obviously, with several locations across London that perform musical theater songs. In November of 2023, we went to Disneyland Paris to open the Christmas season. They seem to have a relationship with Disney, the choir, because this is a performance they do pretty regularly, and I think they have also performed during other times of the year. Leading up to the performance, I was really excited at the chance to visit and perform at Disney, but I was also kind of anxious. I was thinking about the fact that I would be potentially navigating this theme park. I didn't know what that was going to be like, how loud it was going to be. I might have maps and stuff like that, but how well marked would it be for things? I just imagined myself like tripping onto a ride or something. I don't know, but I was definitely nervous. I reached out to the choir and asked about if any of the volunteers could assist me, at the very least, during the performances and getting on stage. They offered a discount for anyone that I brought along with me. It was a bit late in the game when I had asked about this, and the discount would only be for the room. Whoever came with me would still need to pay for their transportation, so it wouldn't have really panned out. So ultimately, I decided that I would just wing it. I had maps, as I said. I was a little bit worried about that, but I also had FaceTime, so I could frantically call my family if needed. Just before going, though, at one of the last rehearsals, one of the choir members had reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I've seen you around, I'd love to hang out with you at Disney." I didn't know if maybe the, head people in the choir kind of was like, "Hey, nudge, nudge, help her out, please." But either way, I was so appreciative of it. Getting to Disneyland wasn't too bad. Once I got off of my flight, I used my not confident at all French to get me to the bus for Disneyland Paris, and then the person on the bus assisted me to, the hotel that I was staying at, and then I met up with my roommate because they needed both people there to give the keys. I ended up hanging out with her the rest of the night, which was really nice. The next day I met up with the person from the choir, and I, overall it was good, but I was plagued with worrying about being a bit burdensome. And yes, it was her choice to walk with me and assist me and stuff like that. But I think, as unfortunate as it is, I think because of how people sometimes act about me needing assistance, I was just what if I don't realize that she's actually, I'm kind of tired, I don't want to keep helping, I don't want to, But ultimately, it ended up being a really good time. And I was very happy to use my accessibility pass as a thanks for them helping me and just getting to the front of lines. But something that was also really cool is, in addition to this disability pass they also had a mapping tool, and I'm going to talk about that here.
So Disneyland Paris has these interesting maps that are supposed to be good and accessible for the blind and visually impaired, and it's great in theory but could definitely use some work. So this is the device itself.
The device is a black rectangular tablet with a series of red and green buttons to one side. Over the screen is a black sheet that has a series of white boxes with red tactile dots. These dots are location markers.
So it has a few different buttons along it. One button that changes the language, all European languages, volume keys, and then the on button on the top left corner. So it's like a tablet that has different overlays that are maps of the various parks. And so you just take one out and you put it onto the machine. It's just a screen, and then you lay the overlay of the map over it, and you press different buttons to show it. I would take out the headphones, but it doesn't have an actual speaker. So I pressed a location and it says Disney Brothers Plaza, or I'll press somewhere else. Nope, that's not a location. Okay, Studio D, right? Disney Junior Dream Factory. And so it tells you these information about it, but there's no way to know or indicate the distance from one place to the other, sort of orient yourself on the map. There's no "I'm here," which might be a little hard to figure out on something this size, but with there also being audio, there's also no way to indicate this is to the right of this thing, or once you enter the park, once you enter this particular land. So, like I said, great in theory, very high-tech and cool looking, but not in practice.
On the screen is a photo of me in a pink knitted hat and dark coat, standing on a rain-dampened walkway. In the background is a pink fairy tale castle with blue rooftops and gold-tipped spires. As of the making of this review, Disney has now added a few other accessible tools. They still have the Virtuoz mini-maps. I do think it was cool, and it was helpful for getting a sense of what rides and other attractions I might find in a particular park, but I do not think I could have navigated with it, especially with how loud the music in the parks were. There are also now larger physical Virtuoz tactile maps at certain locations, including City Hall and some of the hotels. I do wonder if the bigger size allows for creating a better mental map of things rather than just having a vague sense of what you can find. Finally, there is now an app that provides audio descriptions of certain locations and for some performances. If anyone has a Disney Paris trip on the horizon, I would love to know what you think of any of these devices. Or if anyone goes to or has been to any other Disney parks, what was it like? I went to Disneyland over 10 years ago and never thought to ask about any access tools. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time!